Alright everyone, today is the big day. I'm going to tell you all of the cars that you suggested I buy. Now, I asked a couple of weeks ago for your suggestions, and this was the biggest Doug car ever. I got more than 10,000 suggestions, and I totaled up more than 5,200 of them before I became incredibly tired of it. Now, if you're like me and you want to see all the data from the suggestions, head over to my column on autotrader.com/overseer by clicking the link below. There is too much data to put in a YouTube video, but over on my column I've got pie charts and bar graphs of all the body styles and countries. In this video, I am just going to tell you the top 10 suggestions. I'm also going to go over some of the pros and cons of these 10 vehicles without revealing which one I'm choosing. Also, it is worth noting, I have not bought the car yet. I know YouTube people, you want me to buy the thing right away, but it's not that easy. Buying a car like this takes some time. You have to search for a good example. You have to do a mechanical inspection. In the meantime, don't you worry, I've still got a lot going on. I still have the bumper-to-bumper Aston Martin, and the Doug car will be here soon enough. Number 10, the Ford F-150 SVT Raptor. Ah, the Raptor. The Raptor would be great. Pro, I can run over another PT Cruiser. Con, I live in a crowded city and I would probably take up 2 lanes every time I went anywhere. Number 9, the Dodge Ram SRT10. For those of you who don't know what this is a pickup truck with the engine from a Dodge Viper. If that sounds crazy, that's because it is, and that's why it was so highly recommended. The pro of this would be I would have a pickup truck with the engine of a Dodge Viper. The con, I would say I would have a pickup truck with the engine from a Dodge Viper. Number 8, maybe the most surprising suggestion on the list, the Mercedes-Benz G Wagon. Admittedly, some of you suggested not just a regular G Wagon, but the G63 6x6, which is a $500,000 vehicle. Not buying that. Just FYI, it won't be that. Pro of the G Wagon, it is one of my favorite vehicles. I think they're great. I think there's a million reasons why they're great. Con of the G Wagon, you look like the kind of person that sleeps on a bed of money. The number 7 suggestion was the Fisker Karma. Ah, the Fisker Karma. A hybrid electric luxury sedan with unique body panels and a plug-in engine from a company that no longer exists. So I would say the biggest con of the Fisker Karma is that I have no idea if I will even be able to fix it anywhere. The pro, however, is, aren't we all a little curious? Number 6, the Ariel Atom. Ah, the Ariel Atom. A car that straddles the line between unusable and ridiculously unusable. And that's the biggest con. It would be very hard for me to use it, especially since winter is coming up and I'd probably have the car through the winter. The pro, of course, is it is absolutely absurd, and I think it would be kind of fun to drive around in something that ridiculous looking. Number 5, the Acura NSX, the venerable Acura NSX. I specifically told you people not to recommend me a serious sports car, and the NSX still ended up 5th, which proves how much you want to see stuff about the NSX. The con, of course, is it is pretty similar to the Aston. It's not like you can do crazy stuff. I'm not running over any PT Cruisers in an NSX. But the pro is the NSX seems to be one of the coolest cars of all time. Number 4, the Toyota Supra. Ah, the Supra splits opinions like nothing in the world. Some people would love it if I got a Supra. Other people think it's just kind of a Toyota. The biggest pro is that this is an iconic car. Definitely one of the coolest sports cars of its time. The biggest con is that not everybody thinks that. Now cue all the angry comments for people who do think that. No, the Supra is one of the best. It really is. The number 3 most suggested car, the DeLorean. Ah, the DeLorean. I think it would be great to have a DeLorean. I think it would be, these are the pros. It would be interesting, it'd be cool, it'd be bizarre. Everything about it would be unique. The con, however, these are the pros. The con is people asking me about Back to the Future. And I think the con outweighs the pro, but we'll see. I'm considering it. But I would really, if I pull up to even one stoplight and somebody says, hey, you got a flux capacitor, I think I'll just have to sell it. The number 2 most suggested car. I asked for something ridiculous and you delivered. The number 2 most suggested car is the Plymouth Prowler. Now the Prowler has always been a guilty pleasure of mine. I think it's kind of cool. Don't tell anybody. The biggest pro is it is ridiculous. Have you seen one? The cons though, I mean, I'm not sure I can really do that much with a Plymouth Prowler. You get it and you got a steering wheel from a Jeep and an engine from a Dodge Intrepid, and after you've covered that, it's like, well, now what? And the #1 most suggested car, last time and this time, the Dodge Viper. The Viper won by 35 votes last time, and it won by 35 votes this time. It is the car you most want to see me in. The pros are obvious. It is a V10 ridiculous, insane automobile of epic absurdity. The cons, just as obvious. I'll probably die. So, what is the Doug car going to be? Well, you've heard the top 10, and it'll probably be something on that list. But I haven't quite decided yet. So give it a few more weeks. I gotta look for cars. I gotta do some mechanical inspections and some shipping and blah, blah, blah. And there will soon be another Doug car in the fold.